You're about to listen to Kelly Martin Speaks. I'm your host Kelly and the author of When Everyone Shines But You, a mental health and self-acceptance blogger and a recovering darkness addict. I have experienced intense anxiety, deep depression and life trauma, but I'm coming out of the other side now. Darkness was a comfort zone for me for a long time, and it felt safer than the light. So in this podcast I share with you my journey into the light and how I move through challenge in an empowering way. I'll share with you tools and nurturing ways to embrace your humanity. I was once a shy, scared introvert, afraid to speak, but that's all changing. Let's take this journey together and learn to fly. Hi there, welcome back to Kelly Martin Speaks. I'm your host Kelly Martin and this is episode 111. Now my apologies for not doing last week's podcast, but due to the womanly change of my life, my sleep was being seriously disrupted and I hadn't slept for 3 nights in a row, so I was too tired to do it. So here I am. I wouldn't say I'm as fresh as a daisy, but I have slept, thankfully, and I wanted to go into something a little bit different today. Today I want to talk about the plan, the divine plan. And you may think, what plan? There's no plan. It's just a jumble of choices that create results. And while you're correct, I also feel we have a plan in place in our lives that may not be clear to us. But when life brings us challenges and roadblocks, we get swiftly turned into a new direction or are encouraged to let go of people and many other possibilities. We may meet people we were meant to meet on a specific day in a seemingly random encounter. But I tend to think there's a lot more to it. Imagine you meet your soulmate. Think about it this way. What pieces of the puzzle of life had to come together so that both of you were ready to meet? And how did you find yourself at the exact moment and place and time to meet? Now that's a lot of background stage changing. And I love the idea that even if consciously we don't see the plan, we are on the stage, and as things need to change, unseen helpers encourage and move around the landscape and the actors in our life's show so that everything works at the exact time. And this also happens for things that may seem terrible. For example, when a lot of people die at once. Could be September 11 and the Twin Towers, or it could be like the tsunami in India. Those who didn't die would have been encouraged to take another route to work or take the day off. Those whose souls were meant to leave the planet arrived at the right time for their departure. I know it's painful to lose someone. I've lost a fair few people in my life. Even my father when he died in his early 50s. I feel like he had a window and his role was to bring light into the world, bring me and my sister into the world, love my mother and care for us as a family. And once I'd flown the nest and my father had sorted out certain things, he had another journey to go on. His time wasn't finished as a soul. And he, on a soul level, could now explore new directions without the physical body. And I have no doubt whatsoever that he watches over us. Now, recently I watched a video of a school child by a railing near a road. He was just hanging around there, and A few seconds later, he walked away towards a tree. And then a car slammed into the exact railings he'd been standing at a few seconds earlier. If he'd still been there, he would have been dead. This was caught on a street camera. Now, if that's not divine intervention and keeping to the plan, I don't know what is. I think we're all looked after and cared for. One thing about trusting our life's plan is understanding that when we are preparing for radical growth, we can go through a time of temporary disorder and chaos. Our egos may worry and fear that we are doing something wrong or we've moved off our path. But on a soul level, an unconscious level, we know exactly what we're doing and why and where we are. Because for the new to be formed, the old must disassemble. When we're going through chaos, this is one of the most important times to trust the plan. It's time to let go and accept what is happening, and instead of resisting it. We can't control or impose our will on disorder and chaos. It will never work. It's the time when we need to have faith and to not seek solutions. If your life feels full of painful endings right now, breathe deeply. These endings are meant to take place. Your energy is meant to be withdrawn from these people, your relationships or activities or even areas. Your life wants what's best for you. It always has and it always will. And your journey, it's a creative one, and sometimes the things you have worked towards need to crumble for something even better to take shape and form. Now, your instincts and intuition are what will get you through this period, any period of disorder and chaos. So taking time out to get in touch with your intuition, to be mindful and let go. Your inner compass will strengthen for the time when it's time to take a new direction or a leap of faith. Now, the more you are able to surrender, the more new opportunities will come more effortlessly into your life. It's a time to trust the unfolding of your higher plan. Your life, God, the universe, whatever label you give to a higher power knows exactly what you need and is in the process of delivering it to you. All of what is happening for a greater purpose. Now you can go with the flow and trust, or you can struggle, resist, and suffer. It's always a choice, and it's something I've done both of many times, so you're not alone. You can rise from the ashes of the old and be transformed. And if you've been drawn to this episode, this is your journey right now. So keep the faith. Now, if you enjoy my free content on this podcast and blog, I appreciate any donations. Or you can buy me a coffee via Ko-fi on my podcasting page, which is on kellymartinspeaks.co.uk. And I'd love it if you pop over to my new shop on Etsy and view my art prints. And if you think you want something new in your home, you might find something that will inspire you or make you laugh or just bring some colour to your world. Or you might want to help some children that need to raise their self-esteem. I've got a great section for that. And also, if you have a question or a topic you're struggling with and would like me to answer on an upcoming podcast episode, please get in touch. Your name will be confidential. Email me at kellymartinspeaks@gmail.com or message me on Facebook via my page, Kelly Martin Speaks. Until next time, bye for now. You've been listening to my podcast, Kelly Martin Speaks. I'd really appreciate your feedback. If you're listening on iTunes, please give me a review. It helps me be seen and heard by those that need it. You can also follow me on kellymartinspeaks.co.uk, where you can read my blogs, find out about my book series, and subscribe to my monthly newsletter. I'm also all over social media, so search for me via Kelly Martin Speaks on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. I'll speak to you next week. Bye.